Welcome everybody to Very Important Geeks, and today I would like to talk to you about crabs. Now I know what you're thinking, but just bear with me. This will eventually circle back to keyboards. So there's this convergent evolutionary theory called carcinization, which says that all life forms eventually evolve towards having more crab-like body and structure and features, because apparently a crab is very well suited to evolve and survive. So that's why things end up evolving in that direction. So what exactly does that have to do with keyboards? Absolutely nothing. Until this crawled into my mailbox. So what exactly is this, you may ask? Well, this is the Mercury K1 Pro by Gravastar, their newest keyboard. I think their first keyboard. Now I believe this is a production sample that they sent me for review, and if you take a look at the Gravastar website, you'll notice there is no mention of keyboards at the moment. But this keyboard is going to launch August 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So by the time this video comes out, it should be available. Now, I had not heard of Gravastar until they reached out to me, but if you look around at their website, you can see that they have a very particular design language. It's a lot of skeletonized structures, lots of alien influences, robots and stuff, very like cyberpunky techno vibe going on. And this is no different. And I have to say, when I took this out of the box, because I never heard of them before, I was blown away by how different this was. And honestly, kind of cool, like different in a good way. And my first thought was, this keyboard looks like something that H.R. Geiger would design. And if you don't know who H.R. Geiger is, he is an artist and his work heavily influenced the Alien movies and a bunch of other movies, but he has a very unique style. And it turns out I was right. In a letter by the co-founder, they said that it was indeed inspired by the Alien movie and steelcraft and liquid metal, and that is absolutely apparent when you look at this thing. Now let's talk about specs. The K1 Pro is a streamlined 75% board that's hot swappable and programmable via their proprietary software. Unfortunately, at the time of this video, they only had software available for Windows, so if you're a Mac user, no luck there. But I am a Mac user and I had no issues using the board. I just couldn't program it, but the way that it comes out is just fine, works right out of the box, not really an issue. Now it does have tri-mode connectivity, so that's USB-C, 2.4 gigahertz wireless, and Bluetooth 5.0. That unique and very cool skeletonized body is aluminum alloy. Now the switches are a collaboration between Gravastar and Kale, and they're going to be linear switches that have a 45 gram actuation force and 3.5 millimeters of total travel. So a little bit lighter and a little bit shorter travel than a typical linear. So you kind of get the vibe that this is more oriented towards gaming. It's got south-facing RGB, a dedicated volume toggle, and an 8,000 milliamp hour battery. The keycaps are going to be double-shot PBT with a couple of the keys, some of the more like novelty-looking keys. Those are going to be die-sub with special graphics on them. The Pro in particular has an FR4 plate, and lots of sound dampening and foam already included inside. And there's really just no escaping the unique feet that are on this thing. And not only, they're not just decorative, but they're functional as well. And they do have RGB in them. Super cool. Now I've been daily driving this board for a couple of weeks now, and I have to say, it's pretty excellent. I am very surprised at how good this board is. It is solid through and through. I know you can take a look at the skeletonized frame and you might assume that it's like a super light board and like it might feel flimsy and cheap, but it does not at all. It is a very quality, like hefty build. It's got a very reassuring weight to it. And I really like the keycaps that came with it. The double shot PBT is nice, the legends are nice and crisp, and the gray on these particular keycaps almost looks like concrete. The switches feel very nice, the stabilizers are well tuned, and the sound and typing feel are incredibly enjoyable. To me, it sounds very marbly, a little bit higher pitch, very solid, no echoes, no rattling. Take a listen. See? Sounds pretty fantastic. Now, when this does release, there will be 3 different versions. There will be the Pro tier, which I have here. There'll be a regular tier, and there will be a light tier. And if you opt for the Pro, the highest end model that they have, it does come with 3 different themes that you can get. There's a black cyberpunky type theme, there's a white porcelain blue type theme with sort of like the blue oriental dragon that you see on it. And then you get the concrete version, which is what I have, and why the keycaps look like concrete. And the Pro models are going to be anywhere between $150 and $180. Now, because they are pre-bundled in themes, if you choose one, it's going to come with a certain set of switches and a certain design on the keycaps. But the board is hot swappable, so if you don't like those or you have switches that you already love, you can just throw them in there. Now, it is important to note, if you want those cool looking funky feet, only the Pro model is going to have it. The regular and the light model do not have the feet, but they do have the skeletonized body. And speaking of the mid-tier, like regular series, that's going to come in a black or white theme. The switches are going to be a touch lighter at 40 grams instead of 45 gram actuation force. And the keycaps that come with the regular ones are going to be side printed legends instead of on top, because the top has this nice sort of gradient effect going on. And the plates inside the regular tier are going to be PC instead of FR4. And those are going to start at $130. Now, for the light series, you also have a choice of a black or a white version. The light series is not going to have a dedicated volume knob. Instead, you get an extra button up there where the knob would be. And you get a PVC body and PC plates. The black themed keycaps are going to be transparent and have sort of this 8-bit retro legend and artwork on it. And the switches that come in the light are a Gravastar and B-Sun collab switch. Those are going to be 40 grams with 3.6 millimeters of travel. And the keycaps are going to be white on black, so a lot more traditional looking keycaps. And they'll have some other accessories available, such as wrist rests and keycap pullers and stuff, so you can outfit your whole battle station that way. So, what are my final thoughts on this board? I believe this is Gravastar's first take on a keyboard. They have mice, they have speakers, they have other accessories that they've sold before on their websites, but this is the first keyboard that I've seen on there. And in my opinion, they knocked it out of the park. They are very committed to their look, their design language, their style, and it's very evident in here. This keyboard matches all of their other products, so they're very consistent with how they want to represent themselves. And I think that's neat. The attention to detail is amazing in this board, the influence is unmistakable, and the quality punches way above its weight class. I've spent a lot more on a lot worse boards than this, and the best part is, this is really good straight out of the box. You don't have to do any building with it if you don't want to. Now, is the vibe for everybody? Probably not, but if you're tired of just the same rectangular brick keyboards and want something a little different, something with a little more personality that is still top-notch in quality, really good, check this one out. Because I'm going to be honest for a second, so many boards are just so similar, and just being that sort of metal brick, like, that's fine, there's room for that, but it's been done. So it's nice to see somebody just take a different approach, be a little more bold and creative with it, and put it also at a price point that is approachable for a lot of people. Now, I'm not gonna say 180 bucks is cheap, but it is a good middle tier price point. And even for that middle tier price point, you're getting their pro level. And then the Light series is only like $90. So under $100, you can still get a very good quality keyboard. So I say bravo to Gravastar for being creative, for being daring, for being bold, making it affordable, and still making it quality. So I don't see any corners that were cut with this at all. And I know this review is largely positive, but that's because I can't really find anything to fault with this board. For the price that it is, the fact that I didn't have to build it myself, it has given me no problems. It's a joy to type on. It's just kind of fun to look at, and it still functions in every way. I think the only thing that I would wish for this keyboard is that it were programmable via VIA or QMK. I tried to do it, I couldn't get it to work, it wouldn't recognize it. I don't necessarily like having to download proprietary software, but that's a small quibble, a small quirk, if you will, for an otherwise fantastic board. Well, that about wraps up for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll leave a link to the products in the description. Let me know in the comments if you guys have an all-consuming love for the movie Alien and need a keyboard, because I think I know of one. Until next time, geek out.